Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play Star Valor. So Star Valor is an early access game. It has many features that are planning to come down the road, and a big one coming actually pretty soon, which is called Faction Wars, I believe they're naming it. And it sounds really, really cool. There's going to be basically factions fighting each other, and I guess they'll have certain resources and things like that, and it'll happen out of sectors that you're not in, and it sounds really cool. I noticed a lot of people calling the game and comparing it to, say, the X series games. I do disagree on that. I think as time goes on, it is heading more towards that, but I actually think it's more closer to Freelancer by a mile than it is towards X series games. So if you had like Freelancer on the left side, X series games on here, I think the needle would be like right around here, maybe slightly a smidge more, but I think it's really close to here. They do plan on, as far as I know, adding some more economy-based things and whatnot, and I think as time goes on with more economy patches and stuff like that, I think it'll end up being a bit more over here, well, maybe around here, but I don't think it'll ever be there. I think maybe it'll be a good in-between, but I don't think it'll ever be this, far. The X series games, basically simulation is pretty much its core foundation, where I don't find this game offers that. And that is not a bad thing. I think Freelancer is awesome as its own game. X series is awesome as its own game, but I just thought I'd give my opinion on which one I believe more left the right scale on things. So anyways, let's get started. Let's make a new game here. And we're going to go normal, and we're going to name our character. I guess we'll just call it Kane, just to be boring. And so collision damage is an option. I wouldn't use it. I'm trying to think of another game that had collision. What other one? Avorion had collision damage, didn't it? And didn't we disable that, or no? Did we keep that on? There was another game where collision was kind of like more of a. I feel like it's more of like a hardcore mode. Basically, in this kind of game, you tend to smack into everything, and you'll see that over time. So I'm not going to enable that. Play the tutorial. I played that for about 15 minutes and I already have it complete. When you first get the game, that is forced on you. It's not a big deal. It only takes 15 minutes, and then the game is like kind of free, open anyways, and it is really in the tutorial anyways. You can escape and do something else anyways, but you get a reward if you do the tutorial. So, and then the galaxy size. I've never tried tiny. I tried this unlimited expandable one when I was doing the when I was testing and doing the 15 minutes worth during the tutorial. And then I noticed some information on the huge. The huge one is pretty damn big, and apparently that's kind of like the recommended one that people should use. I mean, this one says unstable, so it doesn't sound too thrilling there. You'll never explore all of huge, I don't believe, so I think huge should be good enough for most people. But hey, you can prove me wrong. You can, explore and find all of, all the stuff in huge. I'd be surprised. So now we have a few selections here. Basically, your perks, what you start out with. So you got your background. This one is the one that you start off with the tutorial, big question mark here. You start with a small ship, and you start with 100 credits. And you're hostile to the pirates, basically. There's the minor one, which I'm going to pick just because, oops, I want to show you, but it just disappeared. The minor one, which is 30% mining speed, which I love that. That sounds cool to me. You're friendly with the mining corporation. Once again, you're hostile towards the Red Skulls. And your starting spaceship is a yacht, and your starting credits is 1.5k, which is a little bit more than the first one, the 100 credits, but it's not like, whoa. Basically, instead of dinking around maybe at an asteroid or two and getting a few things, you can upgrade your ship right away with, maybe a better laser weapon or another nuclear reactor, things like that. And then the last one's the trader, which market insight's probably decent, and global trading, 2%. That's probably some good information, but this one just sounds fun for me, the mining, so I'm going to go with that. Then you have experiences. I think when you play this game, and let's just say I've made it to level 50 before, then these perks would be all open and you can go around selecting these. So kind of makes new game, like how games are now adding like new game plus and all that. That's sort of the same idea. It gives you an awesome new start. So eventually you can actually pick a background where you're a pirate, things like that, right? So let's go for experiences. So there's a lot of them here. I'm not going to go through them. The only one that kind of interests me, which might be good, might not be worth it, is the bonus tech level. If it's not worth it in the end, it's not a big deal, then I got no bonus, which is fine to me. And if it is a big deal, well, there you go. I have one bonus tech level higher. Basically, it means when I'm installing tech and things like that, I'll always have it one higher than whatever my level is. So I think you start with 0, so now I'll have 1 tech level basically. And then the starship, this one is what you start with on the tutorial, and then you got the Valor here, which is what you get for finishing the tutorial. Pretty much the stats are pretty much right on the same. Weapons are the exact same. The equipment's from 16 to 20 instead, and cargo goes from 18 to 25, so a bit more room. The nice thing about this one is pretty much just the extra equipment slots, I would say. You do lose a bit of armor, 10 armor, compared to the first one, but not a big deal. And I think that's it, yeah. So let's create our game. Okay, so Sector 2514, Independent Territory. So the tutorial tips always show up. There's an option in the options to disable them, but I think no matter what, they always show up. You just uncheck them here. You go to your setup, they disappear anyways. So keep that in mind. I think they just always are there, to be honest. So let's quickly go through our ship. The first bit, the first 10 to 15 minutes is going to be more us talking here and just, exploring the ship systems here. I'm not going to go too crazy in it, but let's talk about it. So your first button, which you can use with G, is your ship information. This shows your installed equipment. This shows your installed weapons and equipment and your cargo here. You can see you have free space 25. You can see it up here as well. And the ships in this game can get really big and have a lot of equipment. I'm talking about, like, look at the ship that just passed us. I'm talking about, like, equipment that could be, like, 150, I think, equipment, for example, 30 plus weapons, things like that, where you have a lot of room, and it makes the game really fun. And you can add and stack things. So for example, if we look at the nuclear reactor here, the nuclear reactor gives you 10/energy a second, plus the energy storage is 5. And there is no, as you can see, is a tech level of 1. And there's space 2. Basically, it uses 2 space. So just looking at our equipment slot here, we have 10 out of 20. You could fit 5 more nuclear reactors on your ship. And that's a pretty cool thing. Now, some things you can only have 1 of, like the impulse drive. But maybe there's an upgradable impulse drive even at the same tech level that might be, I think, up to orange. I think it goes to like a legendary kind of, or artifact. Maybe they call it legendary, but they have different things, like sort of like Diablo, right? So you got like the green and blue and purple and things like that. So I believe somebody said it goes up to 7. Maybe it's like 5 or 7 anyways, colors in total. And yeah, so you got all the different equipment on here and your weapons. And what we'll probably do is actually get maybe, say, another weapon or a mining laser. It doesn't really matter, just for fun. And then you can hover over here to see the stats directly on this vehicle itself. And then down here, you got more stats as well on here. So that's pretty cool. And then over here, you can actually increase some stuff, which you'll see it'll affect our stats here. So you can increase your thrusters, and you can, boost up your shields. You can do your weapons. So this is sort of like Star Trek. If you ever played Star Trek, sort of the idea where you can, increase and lower certain abilities. And I think this actually in, was this in Freelancer? I forget. But it was in, I think, X Games, actually. But this kind of reminds me more of the, the old Star Trek games, except they had more, you can adjust the aft shields, things like that, right? But pretty fun thing there to, play around with that. And then down here is your heat levels. So your hard points have heat levels. And so if you're overshooting for a long time, basically those will heat up and you'll have some, they'll just have to go into cooldown mode, right? So that is your ship setup. You got your character screen. I'm not going to go through all this and read all of them, but basically you got engineering, combat, exploration, business, and social. When you start off, you get 1 level, which is awesome. So when you're level 10, you've had 10 points instead of 9 points like some games, right? So I'm going to throw it into power capacitor. That's what I feel like doing. If it's a good one or not, that's whatever. Basically increase my power here. So I think it went from 30 to 32. As I increase my power capacity, that, of course, that 8% makes a big difference, especially if I stack that up 5 times. The other bonus you get out of this automatically here is when you put points into a certain area, you get XP bonuses for using that area. So basically, I get 5% item value as XP on crafting, or I get 3% XP on scavenging and scrapping. For example, same thing with combat. You kill enemies, you get bonus XP. So that's pretty cool, actually. And so yeah, you got all these guys. And then down here, this is like kind of like bonus perks. So if you put 10 into engineering, 10 into combat, which probably makes sense. I'll probably do something like that. then you can unlock this, which is 30% weapon cooling. That sounds pretty cool to me. So it's like a nice little bonus here. And if you put 10 into engineering and 10 into exploration, reveal ships graveyards in the sector. Like that's really cool. So you get all these little bonuses just going through there, and that's just under skills. Then you got knowledge. Basically, you got your tech level required to install better equipment. So you got 1+1. I don't know if that means we start with 1 and then we got +1, so we got 2 or 1. I really don't know, because I realized my equipment I had says it was level 1 on it, not level 0. So maybe that means 2. It's kind of weird. It kind of throws you off, you know what I mean, on there. But anyways, what it should be is it should just show you, like, if it means 2, it should show you 2. But green, letting you know there's a modifier, and then when you hover over it, it tells you, 1 base and then +1, because of a bonus, via perk or, something else. There's Space Pilot here, so it requires to obtain special quests, Fleet Commander, Fleet percent damage, and percent resistance. You got Leadership, improves crew effectiveness, and then you got this Geology, defines your mining effectiveness, which shows you some of the basic mining goods, I guess, because I've seen them. No, because I don't think I've seen red and green crystals, but I've seen blue crystal and iron, I believe. And so I guess over time you'll unlock and be able to get more of these. Now they have levels to it, and I think the game goes up to level 50. So maybe these show up once you level up, or I'm not sure. We'll find out, right? Then you got your perks, which of course you got the mining one I have and the bonus tech. And then you got stats here, which basically show you your XP based on what you've been doing. So there's your 5 areas. And then this is your rep. So the mining company we're friendly with. I don't know if there's something higher than friendly, so there could be, I don't know, honored or exalted or something like that. So it might go up to 3,000, and then after that, maybe it goes to, 3,000 to 6,000 or 9,000. I don't really know if that exists, but just in case if it does, well, we'll keep an eye on that over time. And then the Red Skull guys here, of course, were hostile. So this is why I was thinking there might be something like that, because you can see the neutral is 0 to 1,000, hostile is negative 15 to negative 1,000. And so I'm thinking there might be something like that in there. So now I don't know if this is showing everyone. I think this shows you all the factions in the game. I don't think it's just because I haven't come across them, but I could be wrong. And more probably will show up down the road, I can see. And yeah. And then you have your sector map here, which is basically this awesome map here. And you have different things here. Like if you go over here, these do mean there's something there. I don't know if they're always different. Like, maybe there's some down here this is an asteroid belt. Maybe this is something to salvage, So I think they have a meaning, and I think they're slightly different all the time. Over here is a station. I guess when you start out at a gate, and there's a station nearby, which is pretty awesome. And then over here, you got the galaxy map. Now, this is how big the galaxy is, and keep in mind, that sector looked decent size. It wasn't massive or anything, right? But we've explored 4% of it, just standing still in the middle of where we were. It's a size small, it's independent, population's medium, minerals are very poor, 4% explored, and it says you are here. Now, when you zoom out, look how big this place is. And so you look at all the dots and think, oh, that's not bad. You can see even duller and lighter dots here. But that's actually not all of them. Watch this. If you zoom in here, there are systems that are dark systems. So there's nothing there at all. See these? Look at these guys. So they don't have stars. When you zoom out, they don't show up there, but they're there. So it's actually a lot more than what you see here. And when you zoom out even, you can see the other systems. They're just, they're not nebula. I think the nebula ones are the ones that are showing up really. I don't know if they're brighter stars or nebula based. See, I see this green one here. And I see that yellow one, and yeah, so it's not based on nebula, it's based on brightness of star, I guess, so yeah, the duller stars, you don't see as many, and then they're kind of blended in, and then the brighter stars. So as you see, the galaxy is ridiculous in size, and that's why I said I don't think anyone is going to ever explore a huge galaxy, because, well, you're going to be at it for a very long time. And then you got just a quest log, which we have no quests yet, which we'll start doing. And I think that kind of sums up everything except, checking out the station here. So you got the ability to zoom in and out, which is pretty cool. And I like to kind of zoom out. Oh, here we go. Now, these guys are the bad guy. They were called Red Skull, but he doesn't want to fight, I guess. So maybe we'll just leave him. Yeah, he's going. Oh, now he's coming back. He's being a pain in my butt. You can look on the mini-map where he was coming in, right? Oh, now he's trying to run from me. Okay, we're gonna flip around. I bet he's gonna come chasing us now. What an evil guy. Oh, no, he gave up, it looks like. Okay, we'll just leave him be. And you can see my ship just flipped there, which is cool. So there you go, collision. If I had collision on, it probably would have... I don't know if you die instantly or anything like that. I don't know how bad the collision is, but it would have probably sucked. You auto-save when you go to, I think, stations. Here's your repair system here. Here's contracts. Basically, I think contracts is you purchase them and they'll tell you where there's a ship graveyard or jump gate in the system. We already discovered this one. This is the first Stargate, or the gate that was down here, so it says already discovered. This is your mission, so there's a local delivery. Basically, you deliver within the system, I believe, so we're going to accept that, because why not? That sounds fun. And then we can go to trade here. So later on, if you have a lot of cargo, maybe you don't even have a lot of cargo, right? You can buy and sell items. Now, I don't know if they tell you... Like, I don't know if there's a way to see what they're worth. I think later on you can have upgrades so you can kind of get an idea what things buy and sell for a bit more, so there's a bit more understanding for it. But right now, this might mean not a lot to you, right? So if you look at here, you know, they have no red ore and green ore and gray ore and red crystals and junk. So if I go to another station and they got a lot of those, if I were to buy that and sell it here, more than likely I'd make a profit. When you level up, you put points into your... basically, there's trading. It's not called trading. It was called social here. I believe it's under... Oh, no, business, sorry, probably. Yeah, cheaper prices per point, selling prices per point. There you go. So you get 5% bonus, a 10% buying bonus. So that's a big deal, right? Just right off the bat, going from one station to another, that helps. On top of that, I believe there's a bonus when you're rep with somebody, like you have better reps. So it just expands, right? You know, those change quite a bit. So then so there's your trade, and then there's your equipment, your ships, and your goods. So, you know, ships will, you know, some of them will, I think these are kind of, you know, procedural generated in a sense, not the ships themselves, but like what shows up on a station. I don't know if this stock changes. I don't know if new ones or old ones will show up at this station or not. But either way, when you go to different stations, you'll see different ships, and you can obtain them and, you know, upgrade as time goes on, which is pretty cool. And you hover over them, they give you kind of an idea what they are like based on your ship. So you're taking the one ship that we had the ability to start with, I think was actually this ship, but it was an old version. Like it was a rusty old, you know, kind of a crappy bucket ship. And you can see the equipment, and yeah, so it has 10 more armor, it has a 5 less mass. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same ship, except this is like brand new looking. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, and there, as you can see, there's a green version of it. So I kind of wish maybe down the road we'll be lucky and see that. I'd like to see what a green and a white one at the same time, or another one on here looks like. But yeah. Let's go ahead to the hangar, and we're going to get some equipment, but we'll get there in a minute. So the hangar is literally exactly what we talked about looking at our other screen. Just basically here you might be able to do a few things like unequip and equip. I don't think you can do that normally. You have crafting. Crafting is very interesting. Requires certain materials, and so you can do your mining laser core here, right? So add this to here. And then you can select a modifier here. And so 200 damage, but look at the costs and stuff like this. Requires certain tech, and there's a lot of things you can do, add and remove, things like that. One day I'll get into that. I'll learn about that. But today I'm definitely not, you know, going to be playing with crafting. But definitely something that looks like a lot of fun. So let's go back to trade. And let's look at equipment. So we got a reactor here. And you remember we have 1,500. So let's go ahead and buy a reactor. And then you can go over here and probably equip it right away. So there you go. It's been equipped. You can see we even have a bit more energy. This should make it so we can even, you know, use some of these without having any side effects. Let's go to weapons now. So we have a choice to do a simple mining laser, which means we get to mine a bit faster. Or we can do a light laser, a small laser. I think I'm going to do the simple mining laser. Sure, it's not probably the best method of wasting, you know, like, I'm assuming mining at low levels isn't going to be like a godly thing, but I think it's fun. I like mining, and in between episodes, it gives me a chance, like, okay, guys, you know, for the next, you know, 10 minutes or whatever, I'm just going to mine kind of thing. We'll be back kind of. But let's go ahead and buy that, and we'll do the same thing. We'll go ahead and equip that. Now, one thing you want to change is the mouse bind, well, any key bind you can set it to, but you want to make sure you change that. So basically they automatically get set to your first mouse, so that's your left mouse button, we want to make sure it's set to the right one to match the other one. So we'll change it, we'll hit right, and there you go. So now that's set in there. Okay, so let's go back to trading. Let's check out some other equipment here. So you got a speed boost here, enables active speed boost for higher. So it says speed boosters 33%. I don't believe they stack. Like if you buy 100 of these, you're not gonna, you know, boost, you know, 3,000 and something speed or whatever. It's, I think, might just make it go faster to boost up to your max speed, but it's not like doesn't actually increase your speed by 33% for every single one you buy, as far as I know. That's where like max speed and things like that come in there. And actually, here's an impulse drive. Oh, here, this is an awesome one. So we have an impulse drive, right? And acceleration is 20, max speed is 20. This is a green version, so like kind of like Diablo, you know, better items. This is a green version, so it's not like a better tech version of it, as far as I know. Oh, actually, it is a tech level 2. Interesting. But anyways, it's a green impulse drive, and as you can see here, it has you will gain tech level if you scrap this item. Oh, okay. But anyways, you'll get acceleration by 22 and then max speed 22. So you can see the slight, you know, increase of that. So if you had an orange version of that, that'd be pretty powerful, right? So let's see what else is in here. So you got hull reinforcement, which, you know, that's 20 points. That's actually a lot if you think about it. And it's very little. I mean, it uses very little amount. It's very cheap. And it uses only one slot. So that might be a good one to put in there. Increase your sensor to blah blah blah. You got this battle computer, shows smart aim. Weapon damage bonus, helps with aiming. Here's a trader one, records the average price for each market item. Improves scavenging, that sounds pretty cool. And this Pathfinder, so warp distance increase, warp costs decrease, and 200 scanner range for detecting jump gates. That's a pretty cool one too. You know what? I think I'll buy that one. It sounds like more of a useful one, and I think I might even get this. What's this tractor beam? Can be used to immobilize low. Okay, that's pretty cool, but I don't want that. Yeah, let's do the battle computer. I don't know if you can use both of them at once, because this is only one type of this at a time, but I'm hoping they're considered different, right? I mean, the items look similar, but I'm assuming. Oh, there you go. Jump gate discovered. Yeah, so it looks like you can definitely stack them. So there you go. Now we're kind of a beefy little ship, you know. We can get started, and we already detected a gate just like that. So look how wait, was that the gate it found? Oh no, there it is. It found that gate over there. And gates are actually really important in the long run. And look at that. There's an asteroid field nearby, so we can even look at mining. But what we're going to do over here is go over here first, because we have the mission there, right? And now, oh, we're saving. If we use our boosters here, you're going to notice that we're not going to run out of power now. We can even shoot probably. Okay, all those running at the same time. Now it's kind of going down, but... Oh, I overheated. Interesting. Can I change the hard points where... I don't know if you can do that. Oh my goodness, you can actually change them around. I did not realize that. Oh, that changes the game so much more. That is awesome. That is something you would want to know, because I was putting it all in the same hard points, which would have been a bad idea. But look at that. I would have lost a bit of range, which mining doesn't matter. You're going to be butt right up to the asteroids anyways, right? And now I won't have overheating issues with that. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, so stacking them all into one hard point was a bad idea. I didn't even know that existed, so... There we go. So we'll go over here. And there you go. We got completed that quest. You get very little amount for the quest, but it's something, right? Here's a local delivery. So local delivery sounds like kind of the way to go, because it's just something simple, right? That's a big merchant ship, by the way. And you can fight these miners, the civilians. You can fight anyone you wanted to if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it all the time, because you know you'll piss them off. You'll lose rep and stuff like that. You'll probably end up becoming a pirate and making the pirates happy. But so as time goes on, you'll probably want to increase some stuff. So notice my max speed is 27.4. Let's put let's do QQ. I was doing shift Q. 32.8. So there you go. We're moving a little faster now because we put more power into the thrusters. Okay, so we completed that one. Supplies needed. What is the supplies needed? You'll be able to choose from that. So obtain 12 red ore. I'm not going to take this on because I don't even know how to do that. I guess I could buy it. That's one thing. But I don't know how to obtain it, say, mining yet, because I don't even know if I can, right? So there's a scout mission. So visit 4 unexplored sectors. So that's actually probably not a bad one either. Because if we hit tab here, the Stargate itself would be going through that. That would be one place to explore, right? And if you notice EXP popping up on the screen just flying around like that, that's exploration EXP. So keep that in mind, that just exploring, you find it. Oh, what is that thing? I think that's like a boss or something. Yeah, you don't want to go near that. That would be definitely game over for us. But yeah, I'm going to just, unless if a gate pops up right away, I'm just going to jump back into this gate. And then, oops, I'm going to get used to using the sector. So tab, M is your galaxy map. Tab is your sector map, and I mean that's pretty simple, straightforward. I have a habit of hitting the other one. And sorry, I was trying to go to this one over here. There you go. So we're just gonna boost over there. Yeah, so 32.8. That's not too bad. We're moving at a nice pace here. Oh, the gates are switch whatever they want, right? Okay. Oh, look at that. There's a jump gate right here. This looks pretty friendly. It's a neutral sector. That's another thing to keep an eye on, what kind of sector it is, right? So let's see. Can I... Oh, no, my boost uses a lot of power. If I put another reactor on, I could probably boost up my shields a bit too, but we'll keep it as is for now. So there we go. Oh, this is not a nice sector. Yeah, so you get out of that pretty damn fast. That was not a friendly place, but there you go. So... That's 3. Oh, and there's another jump gate up here. Let's do it. And that should have completed that quest, so. Oh, what is this thing? I don't know what that is. It looks cool, but I have no clue if it has a meaning or anything. Huh. Hopefully somebody who's watching this might be able to tell me later on what it is. Okay, so let's go. Oh, saving game. There you go. And oh, and look at this one. You can complete it anywhere you are. So there you go. I guess if they're just giving you experience and not an item, I guess that kind of makes sense. Oh, well, there you go. Go back to receive your reward. Oh, so it is legit. You have to go back to get it. And look at that. It's a warp drive. So look at this. Warp distance, 4.4 parsecs. So basic warp drive for fast travel uses stored energy or energy cells. Only one allowed of this type. Tech level 3, space 3, minimum ship class, well, our ship. You gain tech level, you scrap this. So that's another thing too. You can earn tech level by scrapping tech level that's 1 higher than your level. So that's kind of cool. Let's get this meteor here, or asteroid. They're meteors if they're coming into a planet. They're asteroids if they're out in space, so. Now, I don't know if there's a tractor beam or something to help you suck up the items a bit more, because you do have to kind of run into them, but that's not a big deal. So if I wanted to, what I could do, and I might actually be able to do it live. I don't know if I can equip and unequip live, but you could probably throw just 3 mining lasers, use them even as a weapon, though they're not going to do a lot of protection, right? But oh, there's that thing again. I guess that's just something part of the... Huh. Let's go back and get that... Somebody's not having a good day somewhere. There was a lot of action, I heard. Ah, whatever. There you go. And then... Oh, we leveled up. We're going to do that too here in a second. Oh, wrong button again. Yeah, we're going over here. There you go. We got like every arrow over there telling us to go there. It's like, well, I just want to make sure. Okay. There we go, and we hit G, and there we go. So we got that piece of tech, which we can't use yet, but we will down the road. And yeah, so what's in the lobby here? So supplies needed. So I start running slow, running low on quests over time, but then you can go to another station and get more quests too, right? So that's not a big deal. I do not like the red skull. Oh, why is he not attacking? Oh, because it might be a level thing. I think they actually only do it if your level... Oh, he keeps docking and healing. That's actually kind of clever. I can't believe that's even a thing that can happen like that. Oh no, he's got his thing boosted up. Darn it, he's like exactly the same speed as me. Oh, except he decides to fight me out in the middle of nowhere. We got him. Awesome. Let's grab that. There you go. Oh. See, the game is kind of hard when it comes to looting stuff. It's kind of a... I hope later on... I mean, I guess if you're a big ship, it's not even a big deal because you're probably, like, the whole area kind of thing. But it'd be neat if there was a way to, like, maybe a key down the road or something that just sucks in loot, kind of like an AoE. Maybe there is already an item like that. I just like the idea of, you know, pulling things in with, like, mini tractor beams, I guess. Something that's maybe a little more automatic, or even if you press a key. So, yeah, so if we go to trade, we can sell this. So it's only worth 30. This is not even worth anything here, oddly enough, the blue crystal. This is worth 187. We're not going to do anything with that. This is a sensor. You know what? We might as well equip this because we have room for now anyways, and why not? And then you can see this is worth next to nothing. We're going to, of course, keep this. We're not going to scrap it. Scrapping later on might be useful, but... we don't want to do that now. So how many... Oh, we got 13. We got lots. Let's go to trade. And let's actually buy one more reactor and equip it. And that way we're just less issues in that area. And I think that's about it. And then what we're going to do quickly here, I think in between episodes, I'm going to do some mining for fun. Just, you know, chilling. But we're just going to level up here. We got 5 points. Or 4 points. We're hit level 5. So we're just going to throw them all into here. And then there you go. So now 40% energy storage, which is basically a nice little buffer there to make stuff a little easier on us. And then if we go down here, there's the asteroid field down here. And then I'll just start to do... Honestly, I'm just going to do mining here. Now, you have to be careful because there's probably some more evil guys around here. So keep that in mind. And it looks like there's blue crystals just floating around here too. Well, just one, so... That's pretty cool. Let's just scout around for a bit just in case if there's some baddies hanging around. That could be a baddie there. Actually, I think if they're yellow, they can be possibly a threat. They're just not a threat yet. Oh, no. Never mind. I'm wrong. That's a civilian. I don't know why the civilian's yellow. I thought maybe there was different colors, but maybe then again, I'm not friendly rep to civilians or this area. Yeah, I don't know how that... Well, I guess neutral. Neutral's yellow. Okay. But, yeah, it looks like a pretty safe place. So, like, look at the size of this. Can I hit that one? Oh, no. Never mind. I was like, that's a really big one. That's, like, way in the background. So, if we go ahead here, I guess we can mine this guy here. Now we're going to have no power issues. Our issue would have been heat level, of course, right? But that's not going to be a problem with them spread out. So, I could pretty much go triple the speed if I... Well, I'm going, I guess, with... From what we started out, I'm going double the speed, right? With the, ignoring the perk and all that, right? And if I put one more mining laser, I'd be going triple from what we started off, which would be pretty cool, so. But I think for now, I'll keep my gun for my own protection, especially since those guys can kind of keep up. But I think if you're going to run into trouble, you just get out of there. You just fly back to the station as fast as you can. And probably within an asteroid field, you can kind of run through and bounce through the asteroids, so you can probably stay protected that way as well a bit, so. Space, by the way, does full stop. I keep hitting shift sometimes instead like a noob, so I gotta remember not to do that. You know, like in Minecraft, if you think about it, when you shift, that kind of slows you down a bit, right? You're kind of like, you're crouching in a sense, so sometimes games make things a little, you know, harder to remember. But space is pretty common and shift is pretty common. Yeah, space is pretty common for all stopping games, and shift is actually pretty common for boost. when it comes to a lot of games. Even like, you know, your standard survival, you know, on feet games, like shift would be like a sprint button or something like that. So, oh no, that's crouch. That is that way. Or no, it's control. Yeah. No, I'm wrong on that one. Wait, what does shift do in Minecraft these days? Anything? There we go. Okay, so that's it for this episode. I'm going to literally just sit here and mine for a while, and as you can see, I get a little bit of EXP. I'm going to go ahead and spend some points as well in this area, just because it says right here, you'll get a bit more. You get more EXP from mining, so look at that. And on top of that, I can get more chance to get 2 crystals instead of 1 when mining, so why not, right? So yeah, I'll do this for a while, guys, and then we'll be back, and we'll see what we can go from there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.